Today we're diving into a huge wave of tech, EV, and Tesla news. Because this week brought a mix of breakthroughs, surprises, delays, and decisions that will directly impact buyers in 2025 and 2026. Tesla has quietly launched one of the most aggressive rounds of deals we've seen in years, including the return of a 0% APR offer that people have been waiting for since interest rates skyrocketed. At the same time, there are new delays affecting Model Y performance deliveries that caught a lot of customers off guard. Tesla also made a surprising move that almost no one expected. They've removed Basic Autopilot from some premium models in a shift that reveals a major software transition happening behind the scenes. And on top of all of that, there are big executive shakeups happening at Apple. A full robotaxi fleet being confirmed for Remax, and a lot more developing across the EV landscape. So let's jump in. The biggest story getting attention today is the new Consumer Reports 2026 Brand Report Card. This annual ranking evaluates automakers based on road test performance, predicted reliability, safety data, and owner satisfaction. It's considered one of the most influential reports for older generations, families, and long-term buyers who rely heavily on official ratings rather than social media hype. What makes this year especially notable is that Consumer Reports used one of its largest datasets ever, hundreds of thousands of vehicles across roughly 25 model years. So this isn't a small sample, and it isn't based on a dozen test vehicles. We're talking about millions of data points accumulated over decades. For the first time in history, Tesla has officially broken into the top 10, landing at number 10 overall. That might not sound mind-blowing at first, but this is a huge shift in perception, especially considering where Tesla stood in Consumer Reports just a few years ago. According to the report, Tesla now makes the most reliable electric vehicles on the market. That is a strong statement coming from an organization that has repeatedly criticized the brand in the past for build quality issues, inconsistent reliability, and manufacturing shortcuts in earlier models. Consumer Reports specifically highlights that Tesla's newest vehicles, the refreshed Model 3 and the updated Model Y, show meaningful improvements in reliability and consistency. They say Tesla has clearly benefited from stabilized manufacturing, fewer design overhauls, and a more mature production cycle. The early years were rocky, and owners of older Teslas still report more issues compared to rival brands. In fact, Consumer Reports says Teslas that are 5 to 10 years old remain among the least reliable in their age group. Those problems can't be solved retroactively, but they do show why Tesla was ranked low for so long in earlier reports. The big difference now is that Tesla finally has a stable lineup. They're no longer rushing out new features every quarter, tearing apart factories, or redesigning components at the last minute like they used to. The current vehicles benefit from all the lessons learned over the past decade. Consumer Reports makes it clear that today's Teslas are far more reliable, far more consistent, and far more refined than the older models that shaped public perception for years. Owner satisfaction is also one of the biggest reasons Tesla continues climbing the rankings. Tesla has some of the highest satisfaction scores across all car brands because, despite the occasional fit and finish complaint, people love the way the cars drive. The technology inside, the constant software updates, and the overall experience? Tesla still dominates road test performance as well. Fast acceleration, intuitive user interface, and a driving feel that most EV competitors still can't match. When you look at the top 10 brands for 2026, Subaru is number 1 again because they consistently deliver reliable vehicles with great safety performance and extremely satisfied owners. BMW is number 2 overall and remains the highest-rated luxury brand. Thanks to strong performance scores and improved reliability, Porsche, of course, continues ranking high. Toyota is considered the single most reliable brand overall, while Honda remains a strong contender with a diverse lineup. Lexus continues its long-standing reputation for unmatched long-term reliability. Here's what stands out. Lincoln is the only other U.S. automaker besides Tesla in the top 10. That says a lot about the current landscape. It's not that us brands aren't trying. Foreign automakers continue dominating when it comes to reliability, safety, and customer satisfaction. Tesla entering the top 10 signals. It's a major shift because it shows that an EV-focused brand is starting to outperform traditional automakers on long-term ownership experience. And keep in mind, many older buyers, especially people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, take consumer reports extremely seriously. For them, this kind of ranking can make or break the decision to buy an EV. Now let's shift to the Model Y performance situation, because this has caused a lot of frustration recently. We talked earlier about how the Model Y performance was officially sold out for the entire year in the US. That's all of 2025 then. We learned that delivery timelines were being stretched even further because so many people ordered at once. But now we have something more unexpected. Some of the first customers who were supposed to get their cars soon had them disappear from the Tesla app entirely. Here's what's happening. Customers were notified that their vehicles had already arrived at delivery centers, only to suddenly receive messages from Tesla saying their specific car wouldn't be ready for pickup after all. Tesla explained that after production, they discovered a safety-related component that may not have been installed correctly. Because of that, Tesla placed a full delivery hold on the affected vehicles and began inspecting them one by one. In one example message, Tesla wrote, "We have an update on your Model Y order. Unfortunately, the vehicle assigned won't be ready for pickup as planned. We are actively working with our factory team to build a new Model Y for you as soon as possible. Your original VIN may no longer be valid." This tells us a few things. First, the issue is significant enough that Tesla doesn't want to risk retrofitting the part in all cases. Second, Tesla may simply replace some customers' vehicles entirely. This aligns with how Tesla handles certain manufacturing holds. If the fix is simple, they repair it. If the fix requires reintegration into the assembly process, they replace the vehicle instead of retrofitting. Tesla can actually do this faster and more efficiently than traditional automakers because of how their logistics system works. The potential delay ranges from several days to a few weeks depending on the part involved and how quickly Tesla can get replacements. This is frustrating for buyers who thought they were days away from picking up their car. But one thing that is important to acknowledge, Tesla caught the issue before delivery, which means they're prioritizing safety and reducing the chances of a recall later. And realistically, Tesla is required to do this under US law if the defect is discovered pre-delivery. Some people are also asking whether this will affect the EV tax credit deadline for those who placed binding contracts right before the cutoff. Technically, the rules require the sale to be completed by the end of 2025. If someone signed a binding purchase agreement before the credit expired, their eligibility should remain intact even if delivery is delayed. But we won't know for sure until we get clarity from the IRS or Tesla, because the rules can still be interpreted differently in some edge cases. Meanwhile, over in China, Tesla is dealing with similar issues with demand for the Model Y, but in a more positive way. All configurations of the Model Y are sold out there for the rest of 2025, and now the Model Y long range specifically is sold out well into early 2026. With new orders showing delivery estimates as late as February, the Model Y is already the best-selling EV in the world. And in China, it continues dominating despite the massive price war happening between local automakers. Tesla's ability to sell out months in advance, even with new competitors launching every few weeks, shows that the refreshed design and recent performance updates are working. Now let's shift back to the US, because Tesla has also rolled out a massive, unexpected promotion 0% APR financing for the first time in years. This deal applies only to certain trims and only for a limited time, but it completely changes the affordability equation for buyers who are holding off. With interest rates still very high, the financing cost of buying a car has become one of the biggest barriers for customers. Tesla offering 0% APR. It's essentially like dropping the price by thousands of dollars without actually lowering the sticker price. And it's clearly working because many dealerships reported massive spikes in interest and reservations after the announcement. Tesla also made a surprising decision recently, removing basic Autopilot from some higher-end configurations. This is something people didn't expect, because basic Autopilot has been included by default for years. But Tesla appears to be restructuring their entire software offering because of the new supervised full self-driving system. Tesla wants customers to transition toward their new vision-only driving stack, and shifting the default feature set helps push that transition. In the long run, this could mean Tesla is trying to unify all driver assist features under one system instead of splitting them across old and new versions. On the tech side, Apple is going through big leadership changes after an internal shakeup affecting multiple departments. This